welcome to BERNAMA Today with me, Surati Sanusi, and my handsome co-host for
do
today
that.
is...
Here with you?
Yes, on this Thursday of 5th July,
You forgot the date,
2018. Yes, it is. Because I've been sick for a couple of days. I don't sound really, I sound very nasally today, so forgive me for not sounding good enough. But with that,
you sound fine.
Yeah, you'll help me. I know you will.
No problem.
Right? So with that, okay, if you are watching us on
Right.
Astro 502, you can also tune in to Unified TV at
right.
631 or My TV at 121 or Bernama.com if you do not have any TVs with you right now.
As always, we are everywhere.
Right. And with that, of course, what had happened yesterday, so many things had happened yesterday, so many negative aura happened yesterday. It was not so good for me. I wasn't really feeling well yesterday, and all the news that came in yesterday was really,
All the negative
it brought me really, my spirit was really down yesterday. And of course, we would like to bring you with the first and foremost news is about our former Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak.
Right. Now he was, as we all know, he was charged in court yesterday, and he had to put up a bail of 1 million ringgit.
Right.
So he's out. I think the court proceedings will proceed next year in February.
Right.
Right. So that is one of the things. But before that, so maybe we should say, on a positive note,
okay, we start with something
Tabung
positive first.
Harapan
Yes, of course we do.
went up to
yes.
133 million.
Oh, nice.
756,000.
Right.
166 ringgit. 4 cents.
Right. He asked me just now, who contributed
would put 4 cents?
4 cents inside?
Right.
I said probably that came in before the GST was made into zero rate, but we do not know.
Every cent counts.
I think so. That's really important. And by saying that, I think we need to contribute more just to help our country to get into a good start. Okay. So go back. We will go back to
the negative one.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to talk about negative stories, but we need to
Story,
for your information, just in case you missed or you went to sleep for 24 hours and you don't know what had happened yesterday.
Just came back from overseas, maybe.
Right.
Right.
So yesterday, like what Zaini had mentioned, it was a full blast day for, especially for us media practitioners. We were all at the MACC, and also we went to the court after that. So the High Court yesterday had set bail for 1 million ringgit on our former Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, who is facing 4 charges linked to a 42 million ringgit, which is transferred into his private account.
Right. It is regarding SRC International.
Yes.
We should say that. But then again, the issue is, on the bigger issue is the 1MDB case.
True.
Right, but the thing that was given to him on the charges were due to SRC International.
Right. So if you asked who actually paid the bail for the former Prime Minister, so the court allowed him, or Najib, to pay the first half of 500 ringgit yesterday, with the balance to be paid on Monday.
By 3
so
PM, right?
both of his children, Nur Ashman and Najwa, were there yesterday to
foot up the bill.
Right.
Foot up the bill, yeah.
Right. And so the court will also granted an interim gag order until August 8th.
Right.
Okay. When the case will be mentioned and an application for a full gag order will be heard. So we'll talk about the gag order after that.
What is a gag order?
Right.
We should ask that. Right?
So what does that mean, gag order? Well, everybody know what gag means. So whatever this was mentioned by his lawyer yesterday. It was requested by his lawyer that not only the media practitioners, but everyone should not be talking about the SRC. This is specifically SRC International, not about the case, but only for SRC until August 8th, for fear that he will be judged by the media rather than the court itself.
I mean, the court of public opinion is very strong. I guess that's why Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, his main lawyer, asked for the gag order. But then again, it's until August 8th. We will see whether that will stick. But the AG, Tommy Thomas, says he's going to fight the request.
Right. And talking about AG, okay, Tommy Thomas, there was also a scuffle yesterday. A couple of scuffles we saw on TV yesterday. One when Tommy Thomas actually requested for the proceedings to be held in English.
Right.
So that was a problem because everybody knows that in our Malaysian court, bahasa Malaysia or bahasa
the main language.
Right. So that became an issue yesterday. But I think he has some time. He has a year to actually learn bahasa Melayu, and I don't think that should be a problem.
No,
It should. I mean, for me, what I saw yesterday, people were jumping on every issue to make it into a big deal.
Yes, I
to
think
me,
that was more of a
choose
big
your
deal thing.
war, choose your fight.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are fighting for Najib, fight for Najib, but not on each and every
That was
issue.
the issue actually before
Yeah.
he was given the role as AG.
Right.
That was one of the main issues that was brought up. He couldn't speak Malay well.
Right.
So I guess after he got, he got
Yeah.
his post,
Right.
people still harping on the
Question,
issue.
yes.
So making it like a full-blown thing.
Right. So
Right?
like I said, but choose your war, choose your fight. Okay, with that, let's move on to another issue. So it's on Najib's arrest.
Right.
It was
Still
making
logical.
headlines around the world.
I mean, it's natural that the main leader of a country,
Right.
especially Malaysia, one of the most progressive nations in the world, is making headline as it's being charged in court. So I guess it's everywhere in Europe, in US, in Pakistan, South Africa. People are talking, and Najib pleads guilty. Here is another one: Bloomberg, CNN. So it makes the round in the media.
Right. Well, obviously, it doesn't show a good reputation for us Malaysians, but things happened, and also I think I read somewhere that this is also being compared to the Marcos's cases.
In a
sense,
similar way, yeah.
But one thing that I think we should be fair to what is going to happen. I always believe in the rule of law.
Rule of law.
It has been mentioned again and again.
Right.
The rule of law. Someone is innocent until proven guilty. Right.
But then again, like you said, it doesn't augur well to Malaysia that an ex-prime minister is being charged. But again, it shows that Malaysia is a democratic country going for the rule of law, so that in a way, if people see it, not being judgmental, they will see it in a positive light.
Right. And why do I mention this? Because our DPM or Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Aziza Wan Ismail, she hopes that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission will treat Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak with respect and welcome back to Bernama today with me.
No, she's not well today.
I know. I'm so
she's
sorry.
losing her voice,
Yes.
becoming more sexy.
Oi.
So she says, "Let me talk." But
Right,
she
right.
decided to talk, so it's okay.
Okay, right. So with that, we will move on to our
Another
next. Okay,
negative story,
like I told you, yesterday was not a really good good day for me. I was sick, and the story that came in one after another, it was just bad.
Right.
And I think the day started really, really bad for me because that Adam Raikal story.
Yes.
I think we know about the story a couple of days ago because I think the parents. It started with the parents posting on
Social media,
Facebook saying that their son was kidnapped by an unknown man.
That's right.
Okay, so they seek the help of the policemen and the authorities to
And general
help them.
public as well,
Right. And lo and behold, after much investigation into the issue, the police finally found the body.
Yes, and I think the keepers himself, the housekeeper,
the babysitter's
house in the freezer.
Right.
So, with multiple wounds. I mean, he had a skull fracture
Right.
on the left side and internal bleeding on the right side. So, I mean, it's up for speculation. But DPM, Datuk Sri Dr. Anzan says, do not speculate until
further investigation.
Yes, for the investigation.
Right. And when I heard about when the baby was found, or the body of the baby was found in the fridge, I still have positive thinking about maybe the baby had choked on the milk. Babies sometimes would have that. Maybe they were frightened about it. Yeah. And then when I looked into the results of the post-mortem, it's a blunt force trauma to the head. Well, I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really happy, not because fine, the baby was dead. Fine, I accept that. What I could not accept is that the babysitter had the guts to tell the parents that someone kidnapped the baby and basically gave the parents hope for at least 12 hours so that they could find the baby alive.
Right. I mean,
so that's the part that really ticks me off.
Maybe it was out of fear. That I mean, there are a lot of things that could have happened. Maybe it was intentional, being hit on the head.
We do not know.
Or maybe the baby fell.
Right.
Right. So she was afraid, and it was tough. But putting a baby
in a fridge.
In the fridge.
Right.
That's uncalled for.
That's uncalled for. But I guess I know why. Maybe they knew that, you know, a body, you know,
will smell.
Right. If you prolong it in the air, so they keep it in a fridge so that maybe if the police is not there anymore, they could throw it away. We do not know what is the intention.
Yeah.
But I could say that it was uncalled of.
Yeah.
They should have come up and say, this happened, I'm so sorry, you know, because I hate when people giving people other hopes. That's the part that I don't think that's right at all.
I think a lot of public empathize with the
parents as well.
So we wish the parents well. You know, and hopefully this episode will be, you know, behind them.
Right, and they would get the suspects would get what they
deserve.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Moving on from there, we want to talk about. Right, we want to go to talk about UMNO appointees on DBKL Advisory Board must go.
According to the new FT Minister,
right,
Dato' Khalid Samad, saying that I mean, if you are being appointed as an advisory board in DBKL, it's a political appointment.
Right.
So naturally, it makes sense for you just to let go.
Right.
Right.
I agree with that as well. So moving on from there, addressing the high cost of living will be Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Saifuddin Nasution Ismail's main agenda. That should be it. Yes. You know, everybody wants to buy houses nowadays. Right. So he said the current situation demanded the ministry to look into the matter to ensure the well-being of and interest of the people was safeguarded as promised.
This is one of the manifestos that the PH saying, but we must be careful. I mean, a lot of things can happen. It's not only the GST, but then again, the traders' responsibility to bring it down.
Right.
It can be some irresponsible traders out there.
Right. And talking about high cost of, I noticed. Okay, I like chocolates, and I always buy bars of chocolates.
Me too.
When I can. I know, and they kept saying, "Oh, after the GST goes zero, it will be cheaper." It was cheaper in a week. I think in a week or two, and then I went back, and it's now a ringgit more. For
what? Cadbury and all that?
Yeah.
Those kind of things?
I was quite surprised the price went up. So I'm not sure why
I guess the price of chocolate went up.
Right.
The chocolate
probably is.
Fruit.
Okay. Right. And we have to go to commercial break. And when we come back, yes, we do. I have a guest. So I'll be talking to Mikhail Raj. Okay. We'll be talking about our stock market on Bursa Malaysia. What is it all about?
People want to hear about this from
It's not really doing good, and we want to know why. So stay tuned to BERNAMA today.
Come back to us.
And welcome back to BERNAMA today with me, Sue. And of course, like I said before we went for a break, we will have Michael Raj, okay, our famous host here on Biz Stock. We will talk about stock market on Bursa Malaysia.
Yeah.
Right. It's not doing well.
Yeah, there's been a huge sell-off since the May 9th election, is it? Because the market is used to having one government for the past 61 years.
True.
Now suddenly it's a surprise new government. So obviously investors are spooked, so they'll be sidelined. Okay. Then the now pronouncement that have been coming in, like cancelling of these big ticket transport projects, have had an impact on transportation stocks and things like that. Then, but we cannot just blame it on this Pakatan Harapan taking over the government and all that. At the same time, if you recall, even a few months ago, there was a straight friction between China and the United States, and President Trump was really, poking, paging and all
China,
that. So, and that is still going on. You see, so they're having a very negative impact on the market globally, regionally.
And China retaliate by having the tax, the retaliatory
taxes and
tariff
tariffs and all that. And at the same time, remember, the US is also facing up to Europe. Is also going against Canada. They want to cancel NAFTA and things like that. So, which is why there's a lot of bearish sentiment in globally, regionally, and even locally. See, so we are getting affected because of what's
happening in a bigger picture.
The big boys fight, that kind of thing. So it is like a double whammy for Malaysia. So because of the lack of clarity and all that, there's been a huge sell-off. But in a huge sell-off, there's also some bright sparks or bright to look at, because you can go for what you call a bargain hunting. It's like cheap basement bargain stocks in the
this old school bargain,
garage and all that. So many of the expensive stocks like banking or blue chips, heavyweights, their prices come down, and their valuation has come down to the extent that it's become very attractive for actually stock markets to pick up the stocks and all that. And the stockbrokers and even foreign stockbrokers, research houses have concluded that the market sort of has bottomed out. It's a good time to buy. So it's a good opportunity. So that's why, despite the sell-off, there's a lot of bargain hunting going on. And even yesterday also, our market, it opened, today is opened marginally higher on mild bargain hunting. So despite regional sentiment, which is bearish, so we are bucking the trends and all that. So people are buying heavyweight stocks like telecommunications and consumer groups and things like that. So those are the important things and all that. So I think some of them are saying that we have already hit bottom, and then we need to go up. And I think this is a potential for the for an upside for the market. So I think it's a good time to buy. So let's not wait too long. If we wait too long, and the valuations go up, price will become too expensive and all that. You see,
But us buying the stocks right now. Before the price goes up, but with our buying of the the stocks, would the price go up after that?
Yeah, because it sort of like creates demand in the market. And when you talk about we are talking about retail investors. But the big boys, the institutionals, the foreign fund managers, the domestic fund managers like PNB, EPF, they are the ones who can come in and push up the market. You see, so they can accumulate. You call it accumulation of cheaper stocks. So those days when you talk about the cheaper stock, you're talking about the penny stocks, the cheap stock. But now you're talking about these blue chips which have come down and become so attractive that it's a good time to buy all of them. And when they go, they will go up because whatever it is, the fundamentals of the Malaysian economy remain strong, and the fundamentals of these companies are strong, like Tenaga Nasional, the banking stocks, the consumer stocks. They are doing very well. You see, so there's no reason not to buy them. So accumulate. There's another right time to buy.
And going back to your first statement, saying that the government has changed, so investors are spooked about it. But we have to remember the person who is helming the country right now, it's no stranger
to economic crisis. You see? So that's sort of really puts Malaysia in good state, because during the economic crisis of 1997, 1998, it was unprecedented, and the measures that he really took, he was chastised by the international community.
But it works.
But it worked after a few years. It really worked, you see, because what he did was to work for the Malaysian people. To fix the ringgit at 3.8, because it's gone down to about 5.2 by September 1998, and he didn't stop that. Can you imagine our parents sending the kids to UK, US, Australia, and they had to pay like from the US dollar, from 2.42 to the US dollar, it was 520. So the amount of fees they have to pay is double, and the expenses, accommodation, things like that. So it sort of put a fixed costing and budgeting at 3.8. So people are able to deal with that. So I think he introduced unorthodox measures to deal with the economic crisis. So I think based on that experience, I think Dr. Mahathir is in a good position. We are not dealing with any crisis right now. It's just
that we've changed the government. And investors are a bit wary about whether we should or should not be investing in Malaysia.
It's dealing with all the problems, the financial and the debt problems that are left over by the previous government. So I think it will take some time for the new government to introduce policy reforms that really boost the economy. I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt, because in the absence of any crisis, it's just a political issue going on, things like that, and all that, and people sometimes make things alarmist. So the market sort of reacts negatively. And anyway, you must demarcate between the investors in the stock market and foreign direct investors who come in and set up plants and who generate employment opportunities for the locals. Those are very important. And this was the same point that Dr. Martin made in 1998, that we don't need all these investors who come to our markets, play our markets, and any sign of trouble, they just abscond, you see, so leaving us with the tatters and all that. So, which is why right now we have to focus on foreign direct investments. At the same time, institute measures, introduce reforms that will boost the market. I think we have to give them time. I think the cabinet just was formed, full cabinet was formed just
a couple of days ago.
I think let's give them time to get down to work, to stop the politicking, and maybe by the time we have the budget in November 2nd, there will be a clarity on economic policies, on market reforms, and hopefully that will sort of attract the investors back to Malaysia.
Okay, going back to your second statement, when you say, okay, the big people, the big players are actually having issues, you know, between China and US and Europe. But the thing is, it always comes back to one country. US is actually playing around with all these countries. Why don't we just, you know, forget about them and just concentrate on these people who really wants to make money?
We can't really do that because we are part of the international financial community. We are part, it's an interdependent market. You know, we are part of the, because we need foreign investors and things like that. So we cannot be an island, you know, just away from all this, detached from all this. We are part of the system, so we will be affected and all that. When you say it's United States always, I don't think it's the United States. He's just one person, you know. It's just one person. No, he's been like doing things against all norms of financial regulations and going against everybody. So, but basically, what we have
to... will it be hard for us to just make our own alliance without getting them into it?
Yeah, we are already doing that in the old days because, okay, the global market. Then we have the regional market where ASEAN can work together. We can work with our neighbors together, you know. So which is why I think one of the most important, our strongest resources is our human resource, you know. The people of Malaysia, and we have a very young population. I don't know whether that includes that, but I think that includes you and younger than you. I think they can work hard. They can accept changes, automation, the fourth industrial revolution. I think they can work hard to take this country forward. So we don't really have to depend on all these foreign investors as in the markets, you see. They can really attack our currencies, attack our bourses, and they are just abscond from us and leave us, you know.
So it's good that you mentioned currency. What about ringgit right now? Is it strong? Is it getting any stronger?
Ringgit is not getting that stronger. It's like 4.03. We are subject to currency fluctuations. We import a lot of items, so which is right now we are not doing that well. But it's not like a crisis, not that well. It's just that the market dictates that is the level, you see. Hopefully when the economy improves, we have better investments and we can export more. And you must understand, our exports are really doing very well. We hit the 1 trillion mark a few months ago. I think that's we carried on. So only thing is just the spate of a little bit of bearish news, lack of clarity that's spooked investors that are staying away. But at the same time, you might never know, they might just come in and buy all the stocks, or they call it bargain hunting.
And the other thing, when you say you know, the investors are spooked, the investors are also trying to gauge the political sentiment in Malaysia. You know, especially yesterday we had that big hoo-ha happen yesterday. So would that affect our bursa as well as our currency? Because
they will be watching, what they will be watching is that is the Pakatan Harapan government strong enough? Will the coalition stand against the previous government and all that? So that in itself, then they will watch. Then they will take a sideline and let's see what happens. But from the economic point of view, you have to take a long-term view. And I think as far as Malaysians are concerned, everything is okay. But when we media play it up, so everything looks so alarmist and things like that. No, so I think fundamentally we are strong. Politically, it's a new change, and I think we want the change. And I think we, the Malaysians, will dictate how the economy moves forward. No.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michael, for telling us about our bursas or stock markets situation right now. And then we have to go for a short break. And when we come back, we have more things to talk about right here on BERNAMA today. So stay tuned.
Hello, welcome to BNC Bernama today. It's all about you. My name is Zani with my beautiful co-host
Suryati Sanusi, who is not feeling well today.
She has a very sexy voice today, but again, it's okay. I mean, then again, okay. Come to us. We are on Astro 502, like you're watching now. Channel 631 Unified TV, 121 My TV, and also BERNAMA.com.
Right. If you do not have TV right in front of you right now, you can always watch us on BERNAMA.com and also on YouTube.
Everywhere you go.
Right. Okay. We start with this segment with good news. Yes. We start with always with the good news. Okay.
Tabung Harapan.
Yes.
How much is it now?
For now, until as of yesterday at 3 p.m. is at 133 million ringgit, 756,160 196
ringgit?
0.4 cent.
Wow,
which he questioned where is the 4 cent came in.
I didn't know how you can put 4 cents inside there.
Right.
But then again, every cent counts. Keep the money coming is for the nation.
Right.
Right.
And with that, we move on to our
this is not so
first
good news.
No, because yesterday was not a good day for Malaysia. Of course, we'll start with the big news yesterday, which is on our former Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak. So the High Court judge overseeing the criminal charges against the former Prime Minister did not provide any grounds in approving a gag order on the public from discussing the charges, according to the AG, Tommy Thomas.
Right. A little bit of background on this is just that our former Prime Minister was charged in court yesterday with 4 counts of involving SRC International.
Right.
And then again, after that, his lawyer went in asking for a gag order so that nothing will be discussed on this issue.
Right.
But it will be, I think our AG, Tommy Thomas, is saying that we should not
have a gag
restrict
order.
freedom of speech on this, right?
True.
So this is what's happening until August the 8th. We'll see I think the result will come out.
Right. But I think the opinion of the lawyer, why he requested for a gag order, he said that so that his client would not be judged by the media, which is, I think it's fair as well.
It has some merits to it. I mean, the court of public opinion sometimes is very harsh.
Cruel.
It's cruel. You know, it will be prejudicial to the the proceedings.
True.
So I guess it has some merit on both sides. So let them debate it out.
Right.
We'll see how it is.
Right.
Right.
So moving on from there, we would like to. I think this is our foreign stories.
Overseas, right?
So U.S. protest climber removed from stage. Statue of Liberty. Okay, who climbs Statue of Liberty? So a protester who climbed the Statue of Liberty's base has been escorted down by police after a roughly 4-hour standoff that forced the evacuation of Liberty Island on the 4th of July.
I think he's looking for shelter. Look at that guy.
I know, right? But why do this? You might just kill yourself. And it's 4th of July yesterday. It was your independence. This is not the way to celebrate your Independence Day.
Yeah, I guess he's saying I'm independent. I want to be wherever I want.
Right.
So I'm at Statue of Liberty.
Right.
The icon of independence.
He looks like he's under influence.
He looks like he's not in it.
Yeah, right. In his state
world
of mind.
Yes.
Okay, but whatever it is, you know, please take care of yourself. Don't do things that you
not
might...
Statue of Liberty. Maybe other statues.
Don't climb anything, you know, without safety features.
All right, next one.
Right.
This is not so good news. It's still in the foreign news.
True.
This in Indonesia, I mean, it's quite rampant in Indonesia. This is happening. It's Indonesia ferry with 29 dead. I mean, the ferry went down.
Yeah.
So 29 dead, Sue.
Right. I think the last I read was 33, if I'm not mistaken.
Gone up.
Yeah, it has gone up.
Okay.
So passengers were trapped for a night. This happened 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Yeah.
Right, off the Indonesian island of Sulawesi.
Right.
And they were rescued on Wednesday, which was yesterday.
Right.
So this is the latest boat tragedy in Indonesia. As we know, Indonesia has a lot of boat tragedies due to its maintenance, overloading, poor maintenance, and so on and so forth. And according to its Director General of Sea Transportation, Agus Purnomo, he said that the people trapped on the ferry overnight were rescued early on Wednesday.
If you see this, I mean, people are with life jackets too. I mean, sometimes even with life jackets, if you're too close to the ferry, when it goes down, it will create kind of a whirlpool.
True.
It will suck down.
Right.
So I guess it's not really safe to be.
If you guys watch Titanic, you know how it happens.
Yeah.
You know, it really
This is why I'm intimating it to you. Because I watched Titanic a few times.
Right. So that's happened. You know, when ship goes down, it will suck especially in that diameter. Everybody will suck in as well.
Right.
But I think that was a slow sinking. That it should be safe for the rescuers.
But then again, you can ask, why did 29 die?
Right.
If it's slow sinking thing,
right.
You should have time to evacuate.
As you watch Titanic, you will see some people trapped inside their cabin.
Drowning maybe.
Right. So they can't get out from their room because the water came up too quickly.
Right. That is foreign news.
Right.
But maybe we can say a bit about one news locally which caught a lot of attention, which was the death of a 5-month-old toddler by the name of Adam Raikal yesterday, 2 days ago. He was found dead and in his babysitter's house in the freezer, Sue.
Right. He was kept in the freezer. We still do not know the intention of the babysitter, what happened. But a report from a post-mortem said that it was a blunt force trauma to the head.
Right.
And we, of course, in BERNAMA News Channel would like to send our condolences to the parents. Last night, I didn't sleep well because I was watching each and every video of the parents bringing the body of the baby back to the hometown in Terengganu.
You can feel for her, right?
I do. I do look at the parents, look at her face. There's nothing you can say. And I watched a video right after she found out that the baby was found in the fridge. She was screaming, saying that she wants the baby right now. It was just disheartening to watch.
And also there was a post by her saying that we will meet you in heaven one day.
Yes, of
course. That costs a lot more.
Right.
I think
and
tears.
I think this case I saw, usually when this thing happens, we see, women are more emotional about it. They'll shed some tears. But yesterday's case, I see a lot of men shedding tears. It was just unbelievable.
With that note, I guess we should keep abreast of what's happening, even if we are sending our children to the nurseries or whatever, should be wary of the people they're sending it to.
Find the backgrounds, and if they're only working for 5 months, it's just started 5 months ago. I think
the bell. All right. Okay, so we have to go for a break.
Right.
So we'll see you right after this with our guest, a painter. So be right back
after the break.
BERNAMA Today. Welcome back to BERNAMA Today. If you know, no, I'm sorry, not this one. This one, a painting of Malacca. Or Malacca. You cannot call Malacca anymore. It's Malacca. So it is by a local artist, which we will, after this, I'm going to interview. But you see that, and you see behind me, it's a favela maybe in Brazil. I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask the artist in question. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Kumar Nagalingam.
Thank you, Zaini.
Nagalingam, right?
Nagalingam,
okay.
Yes.
I call you Kumar, is it okay?
Kumar is fine.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gifted as an artist.
Right.
If I go and have an art class in school, I'll be the D's. In the D's.
Sure.
But I know you are a lawyer by profession.
Yes, I am.
Also a trainer.
Yes, I am.
But why this? Why being, and also I think it should be mentioned, also, you have published a few books. It is As We Were. It looks like Lat's publication. It looks exactly like Lat's publication.
A little bit.
You have some stories behind that.
Yes.
So why art as your mainstay right now?
Well, I wouldn't really call it mainstay. Art has always been, in a way, in my life from the time I was born, probably.
Really?
Yeah. I think I was given a pencil to draw when I was 3 years old. And so my father picked it up. He saw some talent in that, and then he started supporting it by buying all kinds of materials. And
At 3 years old, your parents can spot your talent.
Yeah, and he spotted it.
He
spotted it, and then he started supporting it.
Good.
But we never saw it as as something that will give me my main income or my career, bread and butter.
Right.
It has always been, Indian families and all that, lawyer, doctor,
professional,
engineer.
Okay, I mean, I'm asked to look at the screen now. I mean, I see some sort of a beetle kind of thing.
Yes.
But they're carrying like, what is that? It's not really a beetle-like instrument.
It is a very iconic picture, the Abbey Road.
Right.
The Beatles. But so what I did was I gave it a small twist. As you know, I think one of them actually do play the sitar. But
really?
In the actual Abbey Road,
John Lennon.
John Lennon
did
not. He did not. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Harrison Ford. I think.
Okay. The sitar, the Indian instrument.
He plays the. No, hang on. I can't remember the names now. But yeah, they were into sitar.
Josh Harrison, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, Josh Harrison.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
Someone
then,
told me, I mean, I didn't know that.
yes, yes. And then the other guy, Paul McCartney.
Right. The famous Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
Still on,
he never carried the yellow umbrella across the
I can see that.
zebra walk.
Well, he carries a cigarette.
He carries a cigarette. He carries a cigarette and a yellow umbrella,
yeah.
And that is to depict the yellow submarine.
Yellow submarine.
In India, one of the famous songs.
That's right. That's one of the famous songs.
So I just give it a small twist to the picture.
All right. I can see this. I mean, your paintings is mainly in oil. It's an oil painting.
Yeah.
Your predilection or your liking is towards oil paintings?
I love oil because it's easy to work with, and the colors are bold.
Right.
Unlike water, water is a little bit lighter and quite difficult to work with.
Really?
Water, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. People who can handle water, it will be excellent.
I see. But I mean, in commercial terms, I mean, you are also doing this. I was told that you have an art show going on. You can say something about that?
This is my first solo exhibition, first ever, and it'll be on the 7th of July.
7th of July. Okay.
In Jalan Gasing.
Which is this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Okay.
The launch is at 11 o'clock. I would invite the entire public to come along.
All right.
And
Where in
enjoy
Jalan
the
Gasing?
art. This is at GS Arcade. If you know the Thai Buddhist temple,
Okay, there's a landmark.
along Jalan
Right,
Gasing,
right.
across the road
I see.
is the art gallery.
I see.
It's the corner.
From 11 a.m.
11 a.m. till about 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's only good for 4 hours.
Yeah, but the gallery will be open till 9 o'clock.
I see. Your attendance will be there for 4 hours.
For the
only.
4 hours, yeah.
But
yeah.
your paintings will be there
We'll be there for 4 days.
for 4 days.
Till Tuesday, till the 10th of July.
What kind of paintings are you doing? I mean, I see a lot of you're using a lot of human elements and housing. Is it more of a community or social?
It's a combination. You know, some art critic who saw my paintings said, "What's going on here? You know, is this the same artist?" Because it ranges from you know, realism to surrealism to a little bit of abstract, and you know, so on and so forth. Because normally, well-established artists will have a little trademark of their own. You look at the painting, you know, this belongs to him.
Kumar.
Yeah, this is Kumar. This is Michael, or this is John. And right now, I'm going towards that, but I don't have a proper team as yet, a uniform team. So it's like a very diverse range of pictures and paintings.
I guess, I mean, when you go and buy paintings,
Yeah.
you have certain subjectivity towards it.
Of course.
I like what, you know, maybe with humans,
Yeah.
I like maybe with animals.
Yeah.
And what is this? This is more towards human. Is this an Indian lady carrying the...
Yeah, this is I call it the lady in a pot.
Usually they carry milk, right, up there?
Water.
Just water.
Water.
I
They
see.
will go
Lady
to the
in a
river.
pot.
Lady in a pot.
Very
Yeah.
apt.
Very apt. Quite direct.
Well, you don't see that in Malaysia anymore, right?
The lady in a pot. You don't. I think in those days we used to have that, but I think they still have it in India.
Yeah, and I can see a biscuit being portrayed.
Yes.
I've eaten this biscuit before.
Yes.
Inside like
the jam biscuit.
jam inside,
The jam biscuit.
You look for chicha, Milo, and all that.
Yes.
So you see things, you know, in a different perspective.
Of course,
we know
yeah.
artists see things in different things, right? So this one, what do you see here?
This
and how long did it take you
dotted
to-
art.
Dotted art.
Dotted art.
Dotted
I
art,
spent
yeah.
about 3 months doing this
dotted
one.
art. You just dot, 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 dot,
There's
dot.
no lines in it.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's just dots and dots and dots. It's
How
just
long is it
millions of
you're doing?
dots. I took about 3 months to finish that.
Just that one, yeah?
Yeah, I spent about
God.
1 hour a day. So a small portion will be finished in just that 1 hour.
My God.
So it takes a long
you have
time.
the patience to do it.
A lot
yeah?
of patience,
Good.
yeah.
I mean, artists usually have patience.
Yeah.
But you were saying something about your proceeds from the sale.
Yep.
It's going to go to a worthy cause.
That's right. 40% of the proceeds of the sale in the exhibition, in the upcoming exhibition, will go towards the Make It Right movement,
Make It Right movement.
which is under the BAC Education Group,
Okay.
and they will be channeling that to Angsana Care,
BAC meaning the Brickfields Asia College.
Brickfields Asia College, and where Make It Right movement
Make
is.
It Right movement.
The Make It Right movement is part of the group.
I see.
And they will be channeling the money towards Angsana Care. And Make It Right movement works with about close to 50 over
We're going to
charity.
talk a bit about that
Yeah.
after we come back
Yeah.
from this commercial break. You don't go away. We're going to talk to Kumar, our painter extraordinaire. Come right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to BERNAMA today. My name is Zaini with our painter extraordinaire, Kumar.
Thank you.
Kumar's going to have a paint exhibition, Jalan Gasing. What was the name of the
GS Arcade.
GS Arcade.
GS
So
Arcade.
from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Saturday, 7th
Yeah, but it's
of July.
open till 9 o'clock.
Open till 9 o'clock.
And it's open for 4 days.
Make a beeline there. So again, you do have also, you know, the social media kind of scene, whereby it's under Instagram.
Instagram.
Kumar
Nagalingam Art.
So visit the Instagram to view whatever, you know. I mean, Kumar is a very prolific painter. You can see lots of things, and behind me you can see, and behind Kumar you can see Beatles in Malaysia. Oh, not in Malaysia, but they're carrying Malaysian instrument.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Coming back to your art, are you like inspired by certain things in life? I mean, were you like pushed to painting early on by someone?
Definitely, my dad was the main encourager, my supporter, my inspiration. The catalyst. He himself used to paint a bit of oil and a bit of water and all that. So I think he picked it up, and he used to. I painted 2 cabinet ministers when I was 14 years old.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And
so they're not here. I think. I mean, we are putting.
No, it's not here. It's not here. It was given to them.
Who are the cabinet ministers?
It was. There was one Padmanabhan.
Okay, K. Padmanabhan.
K. Padmanabhan, and of course our Sami Velu.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sami Velu,
Yeah.
our own Sami Velu.
That's right.
So you painted them
I painted them
together or different paintings?
different portraits, and we gave it to them as a gift.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, it was oil painting.
It was all painting.
I see. I can see a lot of also a scenic kind of thing. Is this not in Malaysia? Is this somewhere else?
Basically, a lot of it is from my own imagination.
Really?
And there are pictures where if it inspires me, I take that photograph and I'll paint them. I also mix and match. So what I do is I take pictures of an actual picture, and then I'll put in some other stuff which I think will be suited for that painting.
Your own world, how you see them.
Correct.
I see. Your utopia.
Probably, if you want to call it that, yes.
Okay, you are grounded in, your grounding is in
law,
in legal side.
That's right.
You see it as a bonus or as a boon to your, your art scene?
For sure. You see, one of the things that I do when I used to teach law, and right now I do training and development, I use a lot of artwork in my presentation.
To depict your
To
point.
depict, let's say in law, for instance, when I illustrate a case, plaintiff and defendant, I draw them out. I draw what transpired between the two people.
I see.
Exactly.
So this is anything depicting from law? Out?
Yeah,
You're
of course,
out.
like thinking out of the box, for instance. Get out of the box. I see the three boys kicking a box around.
I see.
And
that's
they're playing football. They're playing soccer with a rotten box.
When was this? Not this year
This
during
was
the World Cup?
that was just 2017 when I did that.
In lieu of the World Cup, yes.
Probably, yeah. So one of the things I teach in my training is creative thinking, critical thinking,
I see.
and thinking out of the box.
Right.
So those pictures.
That's pertinent, right?
Yeah. It is.
But I
it
see
is.
that those are like African kids.
Yeah, they are African kids. Yeah.
You like to use African kids and all that,
Yeah.
yeah? And this
It's
is
quite
more
global.
like, this is more Malaysian, I guess. You are Bunung Raya.
It is. It is. I call that grounding or earthing.
That is a tree as the legs.
Yeah.
The head is the bunga
That's
or the
right.
flower.
That's right.
The body is what the normal kid.
Yeah, it's a normal kid. It's basically a human being, but in full bloom. You know, because one of the things is a lot of healing values when you do earthing on the ground. Even when you walk on wet grass, for instance, with bare feet, it's a lot of healing therapy.
It's not, you don't get sick doing that. Eh?
Yeah,
you get better.
You probably save a lot of medical bills when you do grounding or earthing. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you come about doing a book? I mean, this looks like, to me, if I open it, it looks like lots depiction of things.
In a way, yeah.
It looks like Ipoh Mali.
Yeah.
So Ipoh Mali.
Datuk Lad and I went to the same school.
Really?
No
wonder.
Back in Ipoh and Anderson
you
School.
can see that Ipoh Mali. Kumar is from Ipoh.
Yep.
Right. So Anderson School.
Anderson School.
I see. But he's your senior.
He's my senior. Yeah, we're my senior.
So the school, it teaches you to do this?
No. This one is when I came back to when I came to KL to further my studies in '84. There was a huge difference in life in KL and life in Ipoh.
I see.
A huge difference. So I loved and I missed the life in Ipoh.
I see.
And when I had children and all that, I didn't want these memories to be forgotten. So I drew them out, how life was back in the 80s, before the phone, before the laptop and all that.
80s as we were. There you go. I'm showing to the world now. Right.
Thank you.
You can see it looks like It looks like a Lat's thing, but this one doesn't look like Lat. This is called Timeless Stories.
Yeah, these are short stories told by sages and wise men in the old days. They usually say stories to send a message.
Right.
So I took all the stories, compiled them, and I put them in caricature form.
I see. So make people can understand easily.
That's right.
Especially,
that's right.
I think, more towards kids.
No. It is for the whole range, for all walks of life.
I see.
And after every story, I ask 3 questions for people to ponder and reflect.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What are you easily distracted by? So you tell them what the messages that they get from the stories.
I don't really tell them the messages.
You ask them.
I ask them to think about those things.
That's right. When you read something, like I read Enid Blyton, I get my own kind of world depiction.
That's right.
But when I ask my friend, they get something else. Right?
Altogether, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your mission now, Kumar? I mean, we don't have that much time on air right now. What is your mission going into this art, and for your long term kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or is you going to go into this full time?
I think parents today should look at art as something the kids can seriously pursue,
right,
and make it even their career.
Okay.
Not just drawing and painting. I think performing arts in general, or anything to do with art, should be seen as something essential,
right,
useful, even therapeutic.
Right. I've heard about that.
Yeah, able to help other people.
Right. Healing, right?
Very much healing. And you're following your interests, you're following your passion.
Right, right.
And it can become your bread and butter.
As you are proving it, but with this new government that we have now, what is your hope that they will do? Because in light of what you're doing, do you think they can make it more progressive?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think the most prominent ministry that I can think of is the Ministry of Education.
Right.
That's right. And if he can come up with emphasis when it comes to subject matters and curriculum in school, where proper structure is given for art, not just drawing and painting,
right, okay,
but just art in general.
Art. Okay. Your exhibition is when and where?
It's going to be on the 7th of July, which is this Saturday.
Okay.
The launch is at 11 o'clock at GS Arcade in Jalan Gasing.
In PJ.
In PJ.
Right.
And the exhibition is on for 4 days, from 7th till the 10th of July.
7th to 10th.
Yeah.
All right. So good luck on your exhibition.
Thank you very much.
So this is lawyer turned painter extraordinaire. Check him out at Jalan Gasing. This starting this 7th of July, Saturday. So with that, I'm going to end this with a painting is worth 1,000 words. So go and check it out. My name is Zani. You're checking out from BERNAMA Today.